Hi YouTube. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded anything the past few months, and I know if you're one of my normal subscribers, always used to seeing tool stuff, but uh, been building new computers past couple months, and computers are tools for me with mainly for photography, and it was time for an upgrade this year. My old system was 9 years old, and actually it still did fine with photographs, but this 4K video, I mean, that thing, it just struggled. So finally broke down and built a new system here. Been tuning it the past 6 weeks or so, and finally got everything where I want. It's an AMD system, Ryzen 7 3700X, 8-core, 16-thread processor. And the video card, no, it's not a super one there. It's a NVIDIA 1660 Super. And as I said before, computers are tools for me. I do not game at all. And the video editing software I use is Sony Vegas 16. And so you don't need a huge graphics card with that. They don't provide that much additional processing power. Now if you use DaVinci Resolve, then you want to up your graphics card. But none of the other programs that I'm aware of use a ton of video processing power through the graphics card. There's at 64 gigs, G.Skill 3200 speed, Samsung B-Die RAM. Always good to have lots of RAM with video editing specifically. There's 64 gigs of that. And it's kind of hard to see. I think I got like 5 hard drives in this thing. 2 of them are mounted on the back that you can't see. But it does have 2 NvMe drives that mount directly to the motherboard. And there's one behind the graphics card and one beneath it. One's a Samsung. I believe it's either a 960 or a 970. And the lower one is Inland, which is the house brand for Micro Center. Most of the stuff here I did buy from Micro Center. Not this particular case or the fan. The case is it's a Be Quiet 601. And I kind of like the plainer looks of the black and orange here. And I have used Cougar fans in the past, and all the case fans at least are Cougar 140 millimeters. There's one more down here at the very base. It's underneath this power supply shroud at the very bottom, and it does blow up some air through this gap all the way around. And a lot of people don't like, I should say gamers specifically, because these are very quiet computer cases, but they can run hot. I don't seem to have that particular issue with mine because I'm not stressing it constantly, playing graphics intensive games that are really stressing your GPU and stuff. So the hottest this system I've ever had so far is 67 degrees Celsius. And I've run it through every benchmark I can think of, and it's never gotten hotter than that. Do have one old school. This is a 4 terabyte hard drive. That's just for my media storage. And then the two SSDs on the back of the motherboard there. Those are my scratch disk and output disk. specifically for photo or video editing. But I do have one old school, I've been taking digital pictures since 2001. That's when I got my first digital camera. And that 4 terabyte disk there, I have right now just under 3 terabytes of mainly photos stored on there. I really don't save my old video files. Once I upload, boom, the originals, I just delete them. I don't save video files. I never did add up the total cost, but pretty much did replace everything in this particular system. Let me come over here. It is a Samsung 32-inch 4K monitor. It's only 60 hertz. It's not one, I don't need the high refresh rates for photo and video editing. So it's not like a gaming specific monitor. G.Skill mechanical keyboard. And G.Skill mouse. I believe they're the MX780 pair. And the only thing I did recycle from my old systems was a speaker system. It's a Corsair SP2500. It's from, I want to say 2001. So that's the new main system. And one thing I guess I wanted to point out is a lot of computer stuff today has what they call this RGB LED stuff. And I was totally not interested. That stuff to me looks like a gay pride parade on steroids. And no offense to you if you're gay, but I don't want a rainbow light show on my computer. And I do have a few orange highlights. That's it. No gay pride stuff for me. So I did keep my old system, and I'll just go on. I put it in a new case though, but that's my old Sandy Bridge system from 2001. And I said it's even today, it still does absolutely fine with photo editing. But I don't use like Photoshop. I use what's called Capture 120, or it's the 20th version of Capture 1, and it still does fine with that. It has an old GTX 560 graphics card, but this thing just did not have the horsepower for video editing. It does have 32 gigs of RAM in this one, which was the max for this motherboard. And it does have old school hard drives in it. The boot disk though is SSD. So if you were kind of afraid of SSD, that's an old Mushkin. It's 120 gig. It's 9 years old. Never had a hiccup with it. So it's still kicking along. Got a couple Noctua fans in the top and bottom. Those got recycled from my new system. I originally had a different cooler on that processor, and it was just, the thing was huge, and it didn't work any better than the one that's in my new system now. So there's the I did take the overclock off of it, because the only thing I use this for now is to back up my photos. So no more overclock on it. Never did have it. I did run it overclocked for all those years, 9 years continuously. Never once had a blue screen or crash out of this system. I just put it in a different case. So you got a manual fan controller on it, and new card reader that I put in it. You know, card readers are mandatory for me. And I guess that's something that goes along with, you know, all these new fancy computer cases. You can't, there's no place to put DVD drives or card readers, or they don't have 5 1/4 bays in them anymore. I don't think I did show that, but that is my new card reader here. This one only works for SD or micro SD, which is fine by me, because I have, I don't know, I think 8 or 9 cameras, and all of them but one run on SD cards. So my oldest one does take compact flash, but you know, I have plug-in readers that I can use for that. Oh yeah, I guess I do have that spinner drive too. It's a Seagate 8 terabyte backup. I just have the AMD Ryzen. There you can see this, you know, of course it's not doing anything right now, but this thing's idling at, you know, 30 degrees Celsius. And yeah, I have the side cover off, but it's even, you know, when I put it back on, it does have a glass side cover here. And it's another good thing I like about this case, there's no thumb screws on it. You just set the base in there, push it in, and that's it. No screws to mess with. You can buy this with a solid panel if you want, you know, absolute silence. But from where I'm sitting now, I can hear the other 2 computers over top of this one. That's how quiet it is. And I do have one other old system here. This is an old it's a 6800 processor. It's an old 775 socket. This one has 2 card readers in it, and still has a DVD drive. And this one originally had a Phenom 2 system in it, and I tried salvaging that one too, but could not get Windows 10 installed on it. So I tried, you know, a few different times and just didn't pan out. So it went in the garbage. But this one is this old wireless keyboard, and the screen's up here above. You can see the CPU-Z info there. So that's what I've been doing the past 2 months, 2 or 3, whatever it's been. No new tool purchases, as I said, except the computers. You know, they are tools for me. So no real updates there. Just give you my extra ratchets there. So I am alive and well. That's what I've been doing the past 2 months, and I'm off work from my main job this week. You know, with the big human malware stuff going on right now. We're shut down for this week. They told us, just because we can't get product in. But you know, who knows? Playing it day by day right now. But everything's good on my end, and I hope it is on everyone else's as well. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.